Good evening. Once again, we are going to do some reading from the writings of Rabbi Tzvi Yehuda HaKohen Kook, the son of Rabbi Kook, who is the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Merkaz Harav in Jerusalem. I wish we had videos of the rabbi himself speaking, but unfortunately we don't, so you'll have to bear with me while I read. A lot of Jews are very confused about the war in Israel. First of all, war seems like a very un-Jewish concept. So I'd like to use the teachings of Rabbi Kook to help us understand that war is an integral part of the Torah. It is integral a part of Jewish history, and it is a Torah commandment when the need comes that the Jewish people enlist and go out to fight the enemies of Israel and the enemies of God. In the same way that the mitzvot of kashrut, sukkot, and tefillin are comprised of many details, so too the mitzvah of living in the land of Israel has many details. At its foundation rests one of the Torah's most difficult precepts, a military command to go to war, to defend the people of Israel, and to conquer the land of Israel, and to keep it under Jewish sovereignty. This is a command of our Torah. Certainly, the subject of war is not a pleasant topic. The prospect of having to wage war, even in defense of our land and the lives of our citizens, is a difficult matter to face. However, war is a facet of life, of Torah, of Judaism, and of our redemption. It has to be confronted and understood. The nearly 2,000-year exile without a land of our own, we were weak minorities in Gentile lands with no way to defend ourselves. War was seen as something that belonged to the Gentiles. We were to busy ourselves with Torah. War and religion seemed to be opposites. The idea that a rabbi, a Talmid Chacham, a man of holiness, and dedicated to the service of Hashem, could be connected in any way to weapons and to killing and to the horrors of war, this simply seemed to be out of the question. However, a look at the Torah and at our history and at our sages clearly shows the distortion of this thinking and how very, very far we strayed from our forefathers and the wars that they were forced to fight. In addition to being our nation's holiest tzaddik, saint, and Torah scholar, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, was the commander-in-chief of the Israeli army. Out of his exalted holiness, he had to leave his wife and move his tent outside of the camp of the people, and yet he led the nation in war. Rashi tells us that in the war with Amalek, Moshe's hands grew tired and needed to be supported in punishment for his not having gone out himself to lead the battle. The connection between the giant sages and rabbis of Israel and the army appears again and again and again in our history. Shimshon, Samson, and King David, Yehuda the Maccabee, they were all leaders of the nation. They were guardians of the Torah, and they were the commanders of Israel's armies. Rabbi Akiva, perhaps the greatest Torah scholar of all time, he supported Bar Kokhba in his wars against Rome. He even carried his weapons out to battle. And the Rambam tells us that the Mashiach will restore all of Israel to Torah and to fight Israel's wars. The wars are waged only out of necessity. If the occasion demands, we must restore the land of Israel to the Jewish people and keep it under Jewish sovereignty. The Torah commands us to go out to war. The Israel Defense Forces is a precept of the Torah. Hashem is called the Master of War, who brings the redemption also through wars. As the Talmud teaches, war is also the beginning of redemption.